Hi, I'm Diana, and I'm a mathematician. I studied in Barcelona at the Polytechnical University of Catalonia. And my path is a bit strange because I started first I studied mathematics, and then I started working as a software developer at a tech company. Um, but then I changed my path and I decided to study a master's in theater. So currently, I work in an in-between world where I do, on the one side, software development for immersive theater, and I also create a theater that has scientific base, and sometimes it's very much based on mathematical ideas. So yeah, that's me.
What is one exciting thing about being a mathematician?
I think something that's really exciting about being a mathematician, especially in the kind of world where I'm at, is that the uniqueness of the ideas that we can give to the work is, well, the ideas that we can give to the work are very unique, um, because yeah, not everyone has gone through what we have gone, and that makes so that means that we can think in a way, in very specific ways, and we can apply logic to certain things, and the theater that comes out of that is sometimes, well, it can be very exciting. And I think another thing that's exciting about being a mathematician is that it was really difficult for me throughout the career, and I found it like a challenging degree to study. So when I face any difficulty in any other field, I have this sort of confidence in myself that I don't think I would have if I had not studied mathematics, yeah, in the past.
Did you have a role model that motivated you to become a mathematician or someone you look up to? And how has this influenced your path?
Yeah, I think I've had a few different role models throughout my life related to mathematics. So I think this is like a very typical story where I had a specific math teacher in high school that I admired, and he was like really like he made the subject very interesting for me. So that made me start thinking about becoming a mathematician. And as well, I think both of my parents have tech related careers, which made me be very connected to the mathematical world when I was younger. And that kind of made me go into mathematics. But then I would say that I've sort of had a second role model more as an adult, because when I decided to study a master's in theater, and when I decided to switch my career to a more creative, or it's still mathematics is still creative, but to a more performative career, I I crossed paths with a mathematician who also does theater. And sorry, let me say this again. So when I decided to switch my career to theater, I made the decision that I would not do maths anymore. I was fed up with my job as a software developer. Which is not exactly mathematics, but I was kind of fed up with all that world. And I went onto theater thinking this was a fresh start. But then I crossed paths with a mathematician who also does mathematics, and a mathematician who also does theater, and he was doing mathematical theater, and then that sparked in me some sort of um, reconnection with the mathematical world, and from that I kind of decided to lean more into my mathematical side again.
What obstacles have you encountered along your journey that you believe are specific to lack of diversity? And how did you overcome them?
So yeah, talking about my specific field, I think that the biggest obstacle is that there's not enough people doing it. So when I'm in a team, there's a lack of uh, diversity because there's not enough of me, of people who have scientific or mathematical backgrounds with an interest for performing arts and theater. And that means that a lot of the work ends up falling on my shoulders. So, for example, when I'm doing software development for an immersive play, I tend to be the only person doing the software development part, whereas in the creative team, there's a director, stage manager, there's a few producer, a few more roles that can help each other. But none of them can help me because they don't understand what I'm doing. I think that the best way to overcome this, and the way that I found that it was possible for me to start overcoming it, is reach out to the to my kind of community. So I go a lot to the LGBTQ community center here in London, and they organize all kinds of workshops for queer people. So I recently got in touch with the organizer of these workshops, and through them I managed to find another software developer. So we're now kind of a team. When I get a job, I will tell them, hey, I've got this job, do you want to do it with me? And this way you manage to create a little bit of a community within the field that you're in, because otherwise it can be really, really nerve-wracking to be the one person that is in charge of a big aspect of the project.
Reflecting on the challenges in your career, is there any advice for aspiring or early mathematicians who are facing the same obstacles?
I would say, don't try to do too much too quickly. And well, I guess there's two pieces of advice that I would give. So the first piece of advice would be, if you're still studying, you're still on your undergrad or doing a master's degree, or even doing a PhD, be patient. Mathematics is something that takes time, and you have to work a lot before you understand what you're doing and before you get results. But once you get them, it's very satisfying. And I would say be patient with what you're doing. There's no, and kind of work through it, not thinking too much about exams, about the results, kind of try to find the joy in learning itself, and then everything else will come. And the second piece of advice is that once you've graduated, if you want to go into academia, I feel like that's kind of a clear path to go to. But if you're not so sure about what you want to do, again, be patient in terms of try one thing. If it doesn't work out, try another thing. And don't try to get, to the top of whichever path you're following too quickly, because then you'll end up burning out. Just think about the things that you need to work and to be happy and comfortable within what you're doing, and then prioritize those before achievements.
Would you like to say anything else?
Yeah, I think, okay, yeah, now that I've started talking. So I think, I don't know, being a mathematician is it brings a sense of identity that is very joyful to be a part of, even for someone like me who has kind of gone away of the mathematician, strictly speaking, the mathematician path. I think that a lot of people see mathematics as this very difficult mountain to climb, that even impossible. They even see it as an impossible thing to do. And I've always been of the opinion that anyone can learn mathematics, and it's a matter of finding the right way for each person to understand. So yeah, I think it's important to have mathematicians in all fields of life so that we can explore the different ways of working with mathematics and learning mathematics.
Thank you, Diana.